good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Christmas music! Last month, No Fugazy experienced a big letdown. He actually got exposed for living a duplicitous lifestyle. On one TikTok page called Cooley and Sarah, there he is in a very loving relationship with a white single mom who has two white children from a previous relationship or relationships. And then he's on his channel talking about...
Yeah, listen, single moms, recreational use only.
Yeah, it is a contradiction. And then he is trying to defend himself saying, hey, no, it's not a contradiction. A lot of you guys are just low IQ and you just don't get it. It's a real self-aggrandizing attitude to have for somebody who's about to lose all of their authenticity that they built up over the last 2 years. But unfortunately, like the Roots, their classic album in 1994, 1995, things fall apart. And this is where it gets strange for No Fugazy. He did something that I felt like he shouldn't have ever done. He agreed to do this debate with The Saint. And the name of this debate is called Confronting No Fugazy Face to Face about White Baby Mama and Being Stepdaddy Interview. Anybody who knows The Saint, well, we know that there are many different sides to the guy. There's the very articulate side of The Saint, where he's just breaking things down. And then there's The Saint who is super petty, super aggressive, and outright to some people might even be super dangerous. And when we talk about dangerous, are we talking about gunshots? No, I'm not referring to that sort of danger because I don't think that any YouTuber is out here shooting people or hurting people. But if you're a person that is close to him, it could turn dangerous. Rewind! You see, The Saint in the Center is not the kind of guy that gives, let's say, friendly discounts on interviews. What do I mean? Well, when Roland Martin interviewed Tiffany Henyard not too long ago, he asked her a bunch of softball questions. Same thing when Roland Martin interviewed Kamala Harris. Now, Roland Martin is an excellent interviewer and downright hostile. I mean, if you can remember what he did to Dr. Umar Johnson, he was downright hostile.
But I'm asking you this here. Harry Belafonte has a white wife. No respect for him?
It would be very, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your social status.
So no. I didn't say social. I'm talking about the one who put the work in.
Right, but you put him out.
No. I'm asking you. So Harry Belafonte.
Yes, sir.
Sidney Poitier, Julian Bond, Vernon Jordan.
And you're naming all them to say what?
No, these are all African American men who have
done some good things.
No, who have married white women. But you said any black man who marries a white woman will not get your respect.
But when it's Democrats or people that he's aligned with, he doesn't give you that sort of problem. He just kind of gives you an easy interview and lets you go by. Well, see, you would expect that from The Saint in the Center, but that is not what he typically does. Let me give you an example of MLD. Remember MLD, aka Modern Life Dating? Modern Life Dating was a guy that was basically, I think he's basically a scammer, okay? He was going on a lot of these dating podcasts and stuff, Fresh and Fit and some of the other things, and he was saying some controversial things. And I guess that is how he met Marquette, which is aka The Saint. And within meeting The Saint in the Center, the podcast interview went left.
Boy, I would spit in your motherfucking face and you wouldn't do a damn thing in real life. You teach men to fake and front. You exemplify the worst qualities in women. You're basically a Colombian. You got fake teeth, fake hair, and a fake body. You're a Colombian. Saying what I say that to your face.
You
no,
right
don't change personality.
Make a peaceful
personality. I'm hyper aggressive. I have zero fear, and I'll destroy everything that you love. That's fine.
All your achievements, all your education,
you got
all your fitness,
flames for an hour.
Completely overseen by the fact that you're a dishonorable guy.
You're a guy who's got liposuction.
This man has snaked me. This man has snaked me.
You see The Saint in the Center roasting him real hard, basically calling him all these names, and the guy Modern Life Dating MLD is saying, hey man, like, yo, like, bro, we were just cool before this, like, you turned on me. And basically, if I'm not mistaken, in that particular interview, The Saint called the guy and then basically recorded the conversation, then put the conversation on the interview. Now, what does this have to do with No Fugazy podcast? Well, No Fugazy podcast and the Saint and the Sinner have a relationship. They've done work together.
For anyone that doesn't know you, can you introduce yourself? Maybe your background and bio and
absolutely
upbringing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief, and if you want to elaboration on anything, I'll go into it. But Marquette Devon Burton, born and raised in California, born in San Diego, raised in LA. Went to University of California, Berkeley, went to Johns Hopkins for grad school.
And also, I honestly believe that No Fugazy podcast is actually influenced by the Saint. And the reason why I believe that is because the Saint and the Sinner guy is not really like, I don't know if he beats up on his audience like No Fugazy does, like, you guys are stupid, you guys are silly. But definitely he's an articulate guy, and No Fugazy podcast is an articulate guy. So No Fugazy podcast even steals directly from the Saint and the Sinner. He takes particular phrases and he takes talking points directly from him word for word, and I've already proven that before. So the Saint reaching out to No Fugazy podcast, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened, to come on to his channel to talk about this scream, which is called Confronting No Fugazy podcast face-to-face about white baby mama and being stepdaddy interview. This is not going to be an interview. It is going to be a complete massacre. And I'm going to tell you why. You see, No Fugazy podcast will have no problem debating people that are YouTube subscribers. No Fugazy podcast is going to have a very tough time debating the Saint and the Sinner. It's going to have a very tough time because the Saint and the Sinner, number one, in my honest opinion, he's more intelligent than No Fugazy podcast. He's more articulate than No Fugazy podcast. And he's going to have No Fugazy podcast in a situation where he's, first of all, not going to be able to see this coming from out of left field at all. And when he does, and it's going to be a live stream, he won't be able to go anywhere. There's nowhere to run to. And he's not going to be able to use the wordplay. He won't be able to do a lot of the things he can get away with, or spinning a question or something like that. Like, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. On one of these live streams that No Fugazy did, he was talking to a particular guy. I believe the guy's name was Ked. And Ked asked a really good question. But watch what No Fugazy did.
Okay, so as a man who is not married, do you believe that it is the best option for men to take advice from somebody who isn't married, knowing that marriage should be the end goal?
Let me ask you a question.
You see, No Fugazy didn't want to answer the question. So what he did was he said, well, let me ask you a question. So the guy was like, well, listen, I'm not on trial here. You're on trial. So sure, you can ask me a question. But with the Saint and the Sinner, that won't happen. You see, the Saint and the Sinner wants to show something else to his audience, the Saints, that nobody is above reproach, of course, except him. So basically what the Saint and the Sinner is going to do is he's gonna antagonize No Fugazy podcast for being a liar. And No Fugazy podcast will not be able to see this coming. See, the No Fugazy podcast believes that the Saint and the Sinner is actually an ally in this. He's gonna find out very soon during that interview that the Saint and the Sinner is going to basically make an example out of him. And I honestly believe he's gonna do that to uplift himself, like he's done it with other people. He's done it with Tommy, okay? Brandon Jamal. Again, and I interviewed Brandon Jamal, or I was on Brandon Jamal's interview, and whenever Brandon Jamal was on the interview with the Saint, he was like, yo, I had no idea that this guy was going to come out of nowhere like he did. And the Saint is just going to do that. He just can't help himself. He's going to attack No Fugazy in so many different areas that No Fugazy is not going to basically be able to respond. He's more intelligent than No Fugazy podcast. He's thought about this before he even reached out to him. And he's going to make a living example. And the issue is that David Cooley believes that he can actually handle this. He thinks he's actually intelligent, but it's not really the case. And he's gonna go into a very hostile environment believing that he's just going on for an interview. But the way that the Saint and the Sinner has titled this video, this is not going to be a cakewalk. The name of the video is actually Confronting No Fugazy podcast face-to-face about white baby mama and being stepdaddy. Confronting. And he's going to bring all of the heat, all of the receipts. And guess what? I'm going to be there to watch it and then make content about it. So No Fugazy, it's over for you, pal. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you. Subscribe, bell. We're out.